Hi everyone, my name is Pragna Nidumolu and I am the founder of EcoTeens, an initiative that helps raise awareness of climate change and how teens can come together across the globe to do their part in making this world a greener place for them and future generations to live in. As a part of EcoTeens, we launched a podcast called The Green Stories to bring diverse perspectives on sustainability and what we all can do as global citizens to address climate change. Today we have a very special guest, Jackson. Jackson, an international development specialist, is dedicated to raising awareness and implementing solutions for global challenges like food insecurity and climate crisis. With a focus on smallholder farmers practicing agroecology, he advocates for targeted climate financing. Jackson is driven by a deep concern for issues such as soil degradation and broken food systems, aiming to address humanitarian crises caused by resource mismanagement. Join him in shaping a more sustainable and equitable future. Thank you for joining us today, Jackson. So, jumping right into the questions. First, can you share with us your journey and what led you to become an international development specialist focusing on food insecurity and poverty in the climate crisis?
Again, as strategy when I was a teenager, and I remember it was like 20 years ago. I was living in a suburb in the western part of Nigeria, and at that age, I was experiencing what we call El Nino. So there was a huge rainfall, which was the loss of harvesting. Most of the farmers lost their harvest. So from that moment, I myself and my community encountered some sort of hunger in the community. So from that moment, that's when I started to have another idea to think about what are the real time that we can bring this right to suffer these consequences that the humanity, especially the community that I was living in, they are facing it. So the food shortage and soil erosion that occurred in that moment, and that brought my attention to think about how well I can be able to assist my community to fight these challenges that are facing at that moment. And what I decided to do was to continue going in school, and I managed to do my education. So I did my bachelor degree in education so that I can start to teach children and to tell them about the consequences that we as a people in the whole world can face in different contexts. And then I decided to establish an NGO called One More Star, so that I can be legally operating and extend my idea about how well I can be able to contribute in this era whereby climate crisis has just destroyed everything. And in fact, the lack of the farmers has been at the heart of the crisis. So I started to raise awareness to the youth community and also other marginalized groups, indigenous communities that has been affected so much with climate change. So that's my
That's incredible. Moving on to the next question. What are some of the most pressing global challenges you've encountered, especially with the smallholder farmers and the agricultural practices in the developing countries?
Yeah, the most challenge, especially global issues right now, is climate crisis, as we know. But in another context, climate crisis is like the onset of the problem, but there's another challenges that are most impacting the marginalized communities, especially smallholder farmers. The smallholder farmers, they seem like the most vulnerable in the climate crisis, but also they also facing poverty and, and hunger. So right now, as we speak, smallholder farmers, um, they make about 7% of the food producers compared to these conglomerates that are producing food. But also they contribute a lot to about almost 65% of the food produced by smallholder farmers. So we can see that they play an important role in the food production and in the food system chain as well. But they are the ones who are the victims of climate crisis. And unfortunately, there is little attention that has been paid to make sure that they can earn the income that they deserve. They they are also like neglected by the government. And the whole system is not favorable to them because they don't get what they need on time. Especially those who need, for example, some of the inputs to obtain their agricultural produce, they don't get on time. And those who get also on time, there are some sort of embezzlement and there is unfair competition of the produce in the market. They don't get what they deserve when they want to sell. They are not the ones who decide the price of their produce. So these middlemen and corporations that are working in the agriculture are the ones who benefit a lot from their trade. So that's the most interesting issue that I have witnessed.
Wow, that is great work that you're doing. Moving on to my next question. In your opinion, what are some solutions that could significantly help farmers and combat issues like soil degradation and broken food systems?
There are some well researched solutions that when I mentioned them, I'll not be the first one to mention them, but they are mostly important ones. If we are going to assist smallholder farmers to tackle climate crisis, especially soil erosion and the loss of the number one is to introduce equitable forest. This is what we call regenerative forest that we can be able to replenish the soil and then restore the soil through taxation of plants, different species that can be planted. The system that is favorable to the farmer because these trees should be planted in different design that can be able to assist one another. So this is one of the best methods to ensure that degradation can be dealt with. Um, Planting trees is not only enough, but in which design we are going to plant it. That's the most important thing to do. Number two is FMNR, which is called the Farmer Managed Natural Generation. So this is another solution that can be adapted and in the new situation, whereby tree stands can be preserved and accordingly to the time, and then the remaining of the existing holding trees and shrubs can be just started within the farm so that the soil can be able to retain moisture and the fertility because the soil has to be covered most of the time. So that's the most important method that I know. can be used for restoration and can be used as well for
Yeah, those are great solutions. My next question is, what are the main obstacles or challenges that you face in promoting sustainable agricultural practices and securing funding for smallholder farmers? And how do you get through these challenges?
The most challenge that we normally face when we are facing uh, this global issue affecting the farmers. The number one is um, lack of awareness. But some of the farmers themselves they don't know exactly what they should do because um, they have been impacted by what is called like the kinds of agricultural knowledge, what we call regenerative agriculture. Regenerative agriculture, I mean, agriculture that promotes the use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, GMO, and all sorts of things. So they have been experienced the satisfactions of using them. So it's a very difficult right now because we have to change them the idea and the attitude how well they can adapt to the new paradigm shift, especially to based on the nature of the solution, which are favorable to the environment, are favorable to their health, and are favorable to the food that we consume. So that's one of the challenges that we are facing. But the second one is funding. Because when we address the issue of assisting through practicing sustainable forestry, now we need funding to ensure that all those skills can be able to handle the communities to reach our target that we really think that the most important one. That the reach of funding has been able to support all these initiatives. So it becomes more clear that it's like they don't have those who are able to fund these projects. They are not more maybe willing to support a lot because the very little funding has been allocated to support these agricultural transition. But you can see big companies they are continuing to fund systematic agricultural practices that are still harmful to the environment, still degrading our soils, and reminding that the food that we produce is not be healthy. So this is a challenge that we face.
Those are very interesting challenges and great ways that you overcame them. My final question is, what message or call to action would you like to share with our audience about the importance of addressing food insecurity, poverty, and climate crisis on a global scale?
I would like to encourage whistleblowing, activism, um, and to continue to keep up, spreading the word about our our climate crisis, to ensure that our leaders, our world leaders, and politicians can be able to hear us. Because if we don't spread the word, if we don't shout a lot, nobody will take attention to our concern. So, in order to save our generation, we all of us, youth communities, children, and all people who have like a very good interpretation with our planet to be put out because this is the matter that climate crisis will just destroy our lives, and not only our lives, but even the coming generation. So we should stand up because we cannot stand up. Actually, we think this is the best right for all of us and for the next generation. Nobody just takes care of it. So these big conglomerates, companies, they don't care about it. They don't care about what we eat. They don't care about what we can consume. So it's very important to ensure that we continue to fight a great fight with the climate crisis. That the person can be able to find a compromise because this is a man-made fight.
Thank you so much. This has been great talking to you, and I've learned so much from our conversations. So, see you in the next one.